What if Gorr the God Butcher was right all along? The gods he fought weren't protectors. They were selfish, corrupt, and deserving of their fate. Is Gorr truly a villain, or was he just a man fighting for justice against gods who failed humanity? The answer might surprise you. Greetings, mortals. Welcome. Today we delve into one of my favorites, Gorr the God Butcher, a soul forged by suffering, wielding power enough to humble even the gods themselves. But tell me, is he truly a villain or simply a force of reckoning? Stay if you dare, and let's uncover the truth. Gorr's tragic origins. Gorr was born on a nameless planet, a barren wasteland, where survival was a daily struggle. His tribe, small and deeply religious, clung to the hope that their gods would one day save them. They believed every misfortune, every tragedy was the result of not praying enough. Sound familiar? It's much like our own history when religion held unquestioned power in times of despair. As a child, Gorr faced heartbreak after heartbreak. His mother died, saving him from a wild beast. She was devout, instilling in Gorr the belief that prayers could bring miracles. He held on to this faith, even as tragedy struck again and again. His wife died in an earthquake while pregnant with their child, and one by one his remaining children starved to death. When Gorr finally snapped and declared there were no gods, his tribe exiled him. Alone and broken, Gorr faced a choice: accept the suffering and follow the crowd, or forge his own path and seek revenge. What would you do? Would you wait for salvation or take matters into your own hands? For Gorr, the path of suffering led him to become one of the most powerful and feared nemesis Thor ever faced. But here's the big question: is that fair? While Gorr's life was crumbling, the gods Thor included lived in indulgence, with little care for the mortals who worshipped them. And yet, we're supposed to see Gorr as the villain. Comic Gorr the Butcher's rise. In the comics, Gorr's transformation begins when he's on the brink of death after his exile. He stumbles upon two gods locked in combat: Null, the god of symbiotes, and a golden armored deity known as the Dark Knight. When Null brutally defeats the Dark Knight, the dying god begs Gorr for help. This moment is the breaking point. Gorr, enraged by the irony, realizes the gods he had prayed to his whole life were self-serving beings, indifferent to his suffering. Seizing the Necrosword, a weapon forged by Null, Gorr gains incredible power and vows to wipe out all gods. His crusade spans the cosmos as he slaughters pantheon after pantheon. Eventually, Gorr crosses paths with Thor. Their battles are legendary, with Thor describing their encounters as some of the darkest days of his life. To defeat Gorr, Thor enlists his younger and older selves, as well as an unexpected ally, Gorr's own son. In a cruel twist, Gorr's rage and ambition transform him into the very thing he despises: a god. His son's betrayal and this realization ultimately lead to his downfall, as Thor beheads him in their final battle. While Gorr is resurrected later by Loki, that's a story for another time. Movie Gorr: a different perspective. The movie adaptation in Thor: Love and Thunder takes a different route. After his daughter dies from starvation, Gorr encounters Rapu, the god his people worshipped. Gorr, desperate for answers, begs Rapu for help and the eternal reward promised to his people. Instead of compassion, Rapu mocks Gorr, laughing at his suffering and dismissing his people as insignificant. In his anger and heartbreak, Gorr uses the Necrosword to kill Rapu, vowing to destroy all gods. While the movie simplifies his backstory, it captures the essence of Gorr's disillusionment and rage, portrays him as a man betrayed by faith, driven by grief and righteous anger. Gorr's true power. Don't underestimate Gorr. In both the comics and the movie, he wields the Necrosword, the first and most powerful symbiote created by Null. The weapon grants him immense strength, enough to challenge gods and even celestial beings. In the comics, Gorr figures out time travel, allowing him to slay gods across past, present, and future timelines. If not for his son's betrayal and his own transformation into a god, he might have succeeded in his mission. Could he have defeated all three Thors? Maybe. What do you think? Let me know in the comments, maybe you'll even change my mind. Gorr the God Butcher is more than a villain, he's a tragic figure who forces us to question the role of gods and the nature of power. Whether you see him as a monster or a man broken by tragedy, his story is unforgettable. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and let's keep the conversation going in the comments. I'll catch you in the next one.